Welcome again to my page. In today's video, we are going to be looking at comparison operators. These operators, what they do is that they help to compare values and they will return the result in Boolean form, either true or false. All right. These are operators that you can use in finding what is equal to or what is similar to what you're looking for. And it goes hand in hand with where clause. That is another thing you will need to know because the where clause will be used to filter the data based on the specific conditions. So before we use these comparison operators to solve problem, I would need to explain what they are, the examples, their symbols, and how you can use it. So number one on my list here is equal to. Equal to is a comparison operator. This is the sign that you're going to use in when writing your query, this equal to sign. When you have not equal to, you're going to use a greater than less than facing each other, or use exclamation mark and equal to together to represent not equal to. Then the next one is greater than. Greater than, if you always, I know some persons are confusing this less and greater than sign. Always know that greater than is your right hand. Just bend your right hand, you'll get the sign of greater than, as if I'm teaching nursery school. Okay, that just by the way. So this is a sign for greater than, and we have greater than or equal to. You're going to write greater than, then put equal to behind it. Then the next one, which is the fifth one, is less than, the left hand facing the other side, and less than or equal to, less than sign plus equal to in front of it. So having understood these operators, why I'm explaining this in details, because that is what I'm going to use to solve these four problems we have here. Now, remember in my last video, I imported several tables into a database. So those tables I imported, I'm going to use it to solve this problem. So if you have not watched my last video, pause this video and go and watch the last video so that you can understand or have full understanding of what I'm explaining or what I'm going to explain. So having explained all this, so let's dive into solving this problem. The first question we have here is that from that list of table we are asked to find the listing where the price is greater than $5,500. All right, so we're asked to find. So what we're going to do now is to write a query. Remember, we have our listing table. So let me just bring out our listing table. Then we will not understand. I will not explain what we are asked to do. So let me select all. I've not started writing the query to the question, but I just want to show you. Select all from A, B, and B. I think pricing 2, listing 2. Okay, let me see if I can get it. And we are looking at listing 2. Okay, this is it here. All right, so I want to see all the content of this table here. So I will run it so that I will explain this question we have here. Good. Can you see this is all we have in our listing table? Now the question is asking us in the price column. This is the price column. Let me bring it. This is the price column. Here is asking us to filter out all the listings that the price is above $500. Okay, so we are going to write a query now that will bring out the name and probably the neighborhood and the price itself. Okay, now to the question. So let me write the query that will give us the answer. So select from all this table. We don't need all these tables. So I'm going to select name. Excuse me. Select name, comma. I will select neighborhood. There's neighborhood on the table on the table. Neighborhood. Neighborhood. Make sure I'm getting the spelling. Okay, neighborhood. All right, see it here, comma, then the price. Okay, now from where? From this table. Let me price. Come to the next one. From this table, A, B, and B underscore listing 2. Okay, this is it. And now our where clause comes in, where price is greater than 500. Good. So the question says find the listing where the price is greater than 500. So this is the question this is the query that will find it for us. So let's execute. Good. Can you see we have gotten out of, remember, okay, out of 6,000 rows of information we have in this listing, Airbnb listing. For this query we have brought out 253 rows of the listings that their price is above 500. Okay, so having done that, we have answered the first question, which solves the price greater than 500. I hope you are following me. Kindly follow me and like this video and follow me for more. So let's go to the second question, which says find the listing that are not in university territory. Okay, for me to solve this, let's look at our table again. I'll execute. They said the listing that is not in university territory. I think is a who's a neighborhood in the exam type the question called university territory neighborhood. I think that should be the right question. Okay. So now the question is telling us that we should go to the column of neighborhood and bring out all the data, those listings that are not in this university district. If I scroll down, you see that there are neighborhoods that are university districts. We don't want them. Let me scroll down to show you university districts. We don't want them. Okay, look at it here. We don't want to include this university district in what we are filtering. So how do we solve the problem? I will do by selecting. I'm going to select. I don't need everything. I'm going to do select name. I'm going to also select neighborhood because that is the key thing we are looking at. Neighborhood. Hope I'm getting the spelling. All right. I'm going to select neighborhood, and that's just all. Then from which table? From Airbnb a listing. Okay. Listing 2. Then where clause comes in, where neighborhood is equal to is not equal to. Remember the question, find the listing that are not. So we are going to use not equal to. Not equal to, then my university districts will be in a quote. Okay, I guess I'm correct. So let's run this query and see what it's going to give us. So the question says if you find listings that are not in the university territory. So I'll run this now and execute. Good, perfect. Can you see the answer we have gotten? We have name and the neighborhood, and all this neighborhood, it's exempted. The university district is not in any of this. So can you see how this comparison operator can be very helpful when looking for a specific information from your database? Okay, let's go to the second question. Is asking us find the listing that are in row in Crown Hills. As I'm doing this, and I'm just remembering how I use Excel to use pivot table to filter out all this. We see that all these things are related. You can use the knowledge of one to answer the next. So we are going to select name and neighborhood again. Okay. So what are we from? See from we are going to select this from descent table. Okay, where neighborhood is equal to. Now we're going to use equal to crown hill. My crown will be in quote because it's a string. Crown hills. Okay, hill, not hills. Okay, I think that is all. Then I'm going to execute this query to see the answer. Good. Can you see that out of 6,000 rows, it's only 38 of them that we have neighborhood in Crown Hills? I guess you're following, and thank you all to have watched to this level. So the last question we have here is that this is a bit complicated, but it's very simple. It says identify listings that have a minimum stay of more than 30 days and where last review after last review was after January 1st, 2023. Before we are going to do this, let's see the table again so that we explain to you before you first need to understand the question. Okay, let me run this query to see all we have so that we'll use it to explain the question we are about to answer. Okay, now looking at this table, they say we should identify the listing with minimum stay of 30 days and where the last review was after January 2023. Now let's look at our headings and find out where this question is related. All right. So minimum stay, we have a column here that has minimum nights. Probably this is what we are looking for. So in this place, we have different days, 30 nights, 20, 25, 2, 3, and all of that. Now they're asking us to filter out where this night is more than 30 days. All right. And we are going to also add it to the review. The last review date should be after January 2023. So let's write this query and see what we are going to get. So select name, of course, then minimum night, abi? Yes, it's minimum, okay, double M, minimum underscore night. We're also going to select last review. Okay, last underscore review. Okay, then from our Airbnb listing two, where minimum nights, minimum underscore, I hope I'm getting the spelling correctly, is greater than 30. And we're going to use and here, the last underscore review is equal to, no, is greater than or equal to. Then this date, you see the format of which our date is, we're going to put it in a code. Which date is 2023 dash 0101. I'll close my code. Good. Minimum is, am I not getting minimum night? Is that not how it's spelled here? Oh, night. You see? Once you do not type exactly what we have there, it also prompts it for you. Need to add ice to this. Okay, so let's run and see if we are correct. Execute. There's an error. Wow. See? Invalid name. I know. I'm not getting the spelling. That's why I knew. Let me see how it's spelled. Sorry. Okay. How is it? Okay. See me. Please forgive me. Maybe because it's already very late at night when I'm doing this video. It's supposed to be N. Okay. And here's supposed to be N. Sorry. There's one thing about coding. You write, you make mistake, you find your bug and you debug. So let's execute this. Excellent. 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 Can you see that we have filtered 414 rows from this condition that we have? Wow, so wonderful. So can you see how we can apply our comparison operators to get a given questions from our database? So I know you've learned what comparison operators are and how we can use it. The first thing you need to do is to understand the question and know the operator to use to get your answer. Thank you for watching this video to this very long time, and I wish you all the best. Make sure you're following me and you are learning. Like and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.